Yo. Total Drama Island. The season that I remember watching most as a kid, and is definitively my favorite season of the entire show. Now, I never watched Survivor as a kid, so at the time, I really didn't understand the inspiration behind this show, but I feel that Total Drama was its own thing. And that's what I really loved about it. It was different, like the style was different. Everything about it was different because we had never seen it on Cartoon Network before, and I think it really benefited because of that. And this season began it all.
Hey, what's up? I'm here to slay. Don't know why the rest even bother to stay.
That was not the intro! That was the wrong season, wrong island, wrong island. Do I need to go back there and show you how to do it properly? Easy, 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 easy. I'm sorry. I said some things that I didn't mean. You said some things that you didn't mean. We're all on the same team here. We don't need a Viacom situation. Let's just cool it. Let's just relax. And please... Oh, I'm so going to get in trouble for this. Let's just start the video. So everybody by now has to know what Total Drama is, right? 22 teenagers show up at a campsite to battle for $100,000 cash. The American dream for a teenager. But most importantly, cheesy tabloid fame, which, I can't lie to you, I kinda want that myself, but we're not talking about me. This ain't all about me. But I gotta talk about this one moment.
Disgusting camp food. Hey now.
I'm telling you guys this right now, this caterpillar is the greatest character in Total Drama history besides Mr. Coconut. I am dead serious. So Total Drama is interesting. As we all know, Total Drama is a Canadian television show that airs on Teletoon. But as we also know, Cartoon Network has the rights to air certain Teletoon programming on their network. Shows like 16, Stoked, Johnny Test, and Total Drama have all aired on Cartoon Network. But, curiously enough, but also not that surprising, is the fact that Teletoon had already aired the complete season of Total Drama Island before Cartoon Network even did so. So I wouldn't be surprised if there were a bunch of spoilers heading into when Cartoon Network started airing Total Drama. Now, Teletoon had started airing Total Drama on July 8th, 2007, while Cartoon Network waited nearly a year to do that on June 5th, 2008. And as far as first episodes go, this one isn't really that bad. It's actually pretty good, but a lot of time is spent on just introducing the campers. Luckily, it's entertaining enough for it to never get boring. And it even led to some very entertaining moments throughout these introductions. And the second episode does a way better job at introducing what Total Drama is as a show. But as I said, it's very entertaining to watch these introductions go by. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show some of my favorite moments and bits from these introductions. So without further ado, let's roll the tape.
Meet you by the campfire, gorgeous.
Drop dead, you goof.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tyler!
My shoes! I saw that. One of the guys dropped his partner on her head. So they got immunity that week.
Lucky. I hope I get dropped on my head.
Me too.
Is this where we're staying?
No, it's your mother's house, and we're throwing a party.
Cute. Nice piercings, Original. Do them yourself?
Yeah, you want one?
No thanks. Can I have my lip back, please? Thanks.
Trust me, there is way more moments like that. And honestly, I could have added way more moments than I did because of how funny this whole episode was, but... So all the campers are introduced, and I just gotta say this. Chris is definitely interested in Lindsay, and in not an innocent way either.
Not too shabby.
Excuse me, Kyle? Can I have a cabin with a lake view since I'm the prettiest?
Okay, you are, but that's not really how it works here. And it's Chris.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC.
Man, the jokes that you could get away with in 2007. Nowadays, society doesn't even know what a joke is, but hey, I digress. I also want to point out that Owen is definitely bisexual. I know it's played for laughs here, but he very clearly is, just by the way he tries to impress Justin here. I mean, it's so obvious. But there's also this.
I'm glad we're in our own cabin with just guys, you know what I mean? I mean, no, I didn't mean it like that. I love chicks. I just don't want to sleep near them.
So Chris splits up the 22 campers into two separate teams, the Screaming Gophers and the Killer Bass. Now, I'm not going to name everybody that's on each team, I'll just tell you it like this. People like Gwen, Heather, Trent, and Owen are on the Screaming Gophers, while people like Jeff, Bridget, Duncan, and DJ are on the Killer Bass. One of the main takeaways of this, though, is that Katie and Sadie, two very inseparable people, like they're very, very connected with one another, are separated. They are split up. I believe Katie is on the Screaming Gophers while Sadie is on the Killer Bass, and this greatly upsets them both. The confessionals are also introduced here, and this would very quickly become one of the main fixtures, if not the main fixture, of the Total Drama franchise as a whole, and undoubtedly what they're most known for. This is another thing that they took from Survivor, but luckily they made it into their own thing, and it makes them stand out even more than they possibly did. So each team is shown their cabins that they'll stay in for the next 2 months depending on how far they make it in the competition. And everyone's kind of unsure of everything, and Cody, the self-professed ladies killer, takes the opportunity to make a pass at Gwen, someone that he's interested in. And this happens. This is where we're officially introduced to Chef Hatchet, Chris's second in command in a lot of ways, and Chris's bodyguard in a lot of ways. He's very much a drill sergeant. He's clearly been through some military training in the past, and he's very, very intimidating. And honestly, he's one of my favorite characters in the franchise. He's so drawn out, and there's so much mystery behind Chef Hatchet as a whole, that you could really do anything with him. He's even involved in one of my favorite episodes of the entire show. Spoilers. So Chris shows up and tells the contestants that their first official challenge starts in 1 hour's time. What is it, you may ask?
Oh,
You know, for kids!
Now, earlier on in the video, I said that this episode does a much better job at showcasing what Total Drama is as a show. And I still stand by that. But, and I don't know if this is going to be a hot take, I don't agree with this challenge being at the first part of the episode. I completely understand that the show wanted to start off with a bang, and it 100% does, don't get me wrong. But I feel like it would have been so much funnier if Chris had the contestants put on their bathing suits, and when they get outside, they have to work on a hot tub. I feel like that is something that Chris would 100% do. I mean, Chris cares about the ratings, but I think he just as much cares about amusing himself, and I feel like this would amuse him. And even at the end of the day, like, you could even use the hot tub challenge as a metaphor for the diving challenge later on in the episode. I mean, it's kind of like having the opener be the last thing, be the main event, instead of the main event being the main event, you know? Like, I get why they did it, but I feel like having the hot tub challenge first and then the diving challenge would have been a lot better, but that's just me. So the killer bass start off this diving challenge and Bridget is the first one that does it, and she successfully makes it into the safe zone. Tyler sees this, has a whole lot of energy and confidence now, but he immediately regrets it.
Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to Jackass.
So members of the killer bass continue to jump, until there is a refusal. DJ refuses to jump on the account that he is afraid of heights, has been since he was a kid, which is a perfectly natural and understandable fear. But because he refuses to jump, he has to wear a chicken hat for the rest of the day, permanently branding himself as a chicken. But because of that, if the killer bass lose, he is more than likely going to be targeted for elimination, which is no good for him. So after that terrible incident, we have to move on. So, Courtney decides not to jump on calculated risk because she feels like most of the competitors on the Screaming Gophers wouldn't jump. She will live to regret those words, and thus she gets a chicken hat. So the next major thing that happens is that Sadie is refusing to jump without Katie on the killer bass. Remember that Sadie and Katie are on separate teams. They desperately and annoyingly beg Chris to do it, and Izzy very nonchalantly says that she'll switch places with her, which Chris ultimately agrees to. And she acts like it's no big deal, like it was a very off-the-cuff decision, but it's still very odd that Izzy was so willing to switch teams. Here, I want you guys to take a look at something.
You guys will officially be known as the Killer Bass.
It's awesome. It's like amazing.
So everybody that's announced on the killer bass stands by while Harold holds the flag, except for one. Can you take a wild guess on who that is? So in conclusion, I don't even think Izzy really wanted to be on the killer bass. I just think she was looking for an out, but that's just my opinion. So it is now the Screaming Gophers' turn to start jumping, and Heather, of course, doesn't want to do it. She doesn't want to get her hair wet. Her words, not mine. Lashana has a problem with this. And this officially begins the Heather and Lashana rivalry that will span multiple seasons of the show. And it is arguably one of the best rivalries to ever come out of the series. And in this confrontation, it gets really bad really quick.
Back off, ghetto glamour too-tight pants wearing rap star wannabe, mall shopping, ponytail wearing, teen girl reading, peeking in high school prom queen.
And
This little incident ends with Lashana grabbing Heather and throwing her off the cliff herself, with Lashana diving right after. And thus it kickstarts the Gophers starting to jump, disproving Courtney's theory. So the Gophers start jumping and Justin lands in the unsafe area, but as soon as the sharks get a look at him, they instantly fall in love. And I don't know if this is a problem or not. I mean, imagine that, sharks falling in love with a 16-year-old model. Well, I guess it's better than eating them, I guess. So Beth decides not to jump on the account that she's too scared to do it, so that automatically earns her a chicken hat, plus ridicule from the contestants. But that also means that the killer bass have 2 chickens, while the Screaming Gophers just have 1. So that means if the Killer Bass hope to at least tie this game, the last competitor to jump has to refuse to. And that competitor is Owen. Everybody is hyping this up. Like, there are a bunch of people that don't think that Owen can do it. Even Owen himself in the confessional states that he's not that strong a swimmer. The Screaming Gophers are cheering Owen on, but Owen's kind of unsure of everything. The Killer Bass are hoping that he doesn't jump, but eventually... So there's really not a whole lot to talk about as it pertains to the hot tub challenge. As soon as the Gophers got that advantage, they pretty much walked right into a win, spoilers. But other than the fact that Katie and Sadie sustained poison ivy and Courtney sustained a black eye after fighting with a fly, there's really not a whole lot to talk about. The Killer Bass were pretty much useless against the Screaming Gophers. It was a pretty huge win. And thus, because of that, the Killer Bass has to eliminate somebody. I should also talk about the fact that Heather and Lashana make amends here after their little scuffle on top of the cliff, but Heather reveals to Lindsay that it was all a ploy, while also saying the famous line,
"Keep your friends close and your enemies closer."
So as I said, the Screaming Gophers have won the challenge, and a part of winning the challenge was actually being able to keep their hot tub for the whole summer, but we don't see their hot tub past this very episode, so the prize was kind of useless, but the Killer Bass have to now eliminate somebody, and it was going to be pretty difficult.
Well, I just don't get why we lost, eh? They're the ones that have 6 girls. Well, guys are much stronger and better at sports than girls are.
Okay, guys, let's give him a break. I mean, at least he doesn't think that guys are smarter than girls.
But they are.
You know, for kids!
Oh, come on, it wasn't even my fault. He's the one that said it. But anyways, Zeke pretty much painted himself as public enemy number 1 on the Bass and unanimously got eliminated from his competitors, thus being the very first elimination in Total Drama history. But I just want to say that Courtney 100% would have been eliminated here. I mean, Courtney wasn't really that much help in this episode. She didn't jump off the cliff when her team needed her to. And plus, she kept on rattling on and on about her CIT experience. But let's not all pretend that just because Zeke said some sexist comments that the whole team still didn't hate him. I mean, he was a pariah to a lot of people, and it was just kind of sad to watch. I am in no way defending what Zeke said in this episode. It was wrong, but let's not all pretend that Duncan isn't sexist either. I mean, he said some sexist stuff in the past. And plus, Zeke was picking his nose and everybody reacted to it and was grossed out by it, which is understandable. But Harold was picking his nose in the first episode and nobody said anything. Let's cool it with the hypocrisy. But in any case, Courtney got saved because of Zeke's stupidity. And Zeke's stupidity was his downfall. And he is the very first person to ever be eliminated in Total Drama. And that, my friends, is the first 2 episodes of Total Drama Island completed. Now, I can't believe I got this video done. I didn't think that I would even finish this video because I'm not the best at completing things. I'm not the best at time management in general. So, I was kind of worried heading into this, but I'm so happy with how this turned out. I'm so grateful for everybody that helped me out through this process. They know who they are. And as long as you guys like this content, as long as you guys like this video, I definitely will try to continue the Total Drama Island reviews because I had a good time doing this. Now, as far as future YouTube projects go, I'm not really sure. I'm still trying to get used to the YouTube system again. I'm still trying to get used to making videos again because it's been a long time since I did videos, but with you guys' continuous support, I will definitely continue. Now, until the next video, this is the Zen One, signing out.